Right, we're back. We're talking UFC 325 that went down Sydney, Australia this
Yep.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Back on
exciting.
GSP Talk Sports with Nico.
Yes, sir. What's up, man? How was your weekend? This was a crazy
Well,
week.
we work the Rough and Tough, which is our local
Yeah.
MMA production in Trinidad and
Yeah.
Tobago. Boy, it was a lot, right?
Yeah. It was really good. GSP, he was part of the referee course, so he did a little bit of that behind the scenes there. That was really cool, getting into that side of things,
Yes, seeing the
I
kind of behind the scenes, and I even got pulled in at a point to do some
yeah,
commentary as well.
yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I saw that because
Yeah, so
I heard you on the mic, and then I looked up. I was like, I know that voice.
yeah. So I listen. I really enjoyed it. Really
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
Um,
It was
thanks,
long,
thanks.
though. Woo, it was long, but it was long.
Yeah. So got
Mhm.
so many wee hours. Sunday morning I had a 5K Sunday morning. By the way, got
Yeah,
like 2 hours sleep. So it was a lot. So getting into the UFC, right? So second numbered event in 2 weeks. And big, yeah. I mean, Paramount. What better could they have asked for? Two
yeah,
blockbuster events, one
yeah,
after the other. And this one we had. Well, we going from main fight come down in the main
yeah,
event. We had Alex Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Uh, a repeat part two in
yeah,
the featherweight title clash.
yeah,
And yeah, Alex got it done. Alex got it done. Unanimous decision.
yeah.
49-46, 49-46, and 50-46.
Okay, yeah,
50-45, sorry.
yeah. Okay.
Looked even better than the first fight. What,
Yeah,
what, what were your thoughts on this?
it basically looked like part two. It did, but it basically a lot of people said he looked better than the first fight, and I kind of have to agree. Um,
He
Alex
usually does that
showed.
because same thing he did against Max Holloway as well.
And
Second
this is it. Alex showed why he's a champion, and I think he is a great champion. And very quickly, I didn't get into my picks, but I picked Alex to win. Well, I said this in the last episode, but I picked Alex to win simply because how I judge fighters against Alex now is: can you beat Max Holloway? Can you beat these guys that he's beaten in the kind of way that he has, and even the guys that has beaten him, Ilya Topuria and Islam Makhachev.
Right.
Can the person that's fighting Alex now beat those people? And it's whether yes or no, dependent on
So
but
interesting
um
point because I don't see anyone really beating Ilia Topuria with probably the exception of Islam.
precise. Oh, I could see
Probably.
it. I could see
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
in terms of Diego, he looked really good, but he did not. It was like the tale of two sides. Alex looked like a champion, and Diego looked like a good contender, but he didn't give off that champion metal, you understand? That little extra
Yeah.
edge, that little extra. And Alex showed, he had more than enough on all fronts, So it was a good fight altogether.
So
And I'm happy he didn't retire as well. I'm really happy he didn't retire.
that's another thing because remember I was suspecting that what better way than
Yeah,
to retire on top at home.
yeah,
He may not ever get that opportunity again. You don't know how
yeah,
it goes from here. Um, but to your points as well, Alex. Great footwork, feints. He
exactly.
used those effectively against Lopez.
Yeah,
Lopez looked really good. He looked big.
yeah,
He looked strong. Alex made mention about that. And the thing about Alex, though, Mighty Mouse mentioned it as well. Alex IQ is top,
yep,
top, top. So
definitely.
and well, by the way, too, he ties Jose Aldo, which is
Yeah,
one of my all-time favorites for the most
okay.
eight now title defenses in
Yeah,
the featherweight division, and basically cements his legacy as a future Hall of Famer, probably the greatest we've ever seen at featherweight. I never thought somebody would have probably
yeah,
surpassed Jose Aldo.
yeah.
So yeah, a lot
And
of
that's the
things to
thing
look
with
forward to.
fighting. That's the thing with fighting Alex. It's not just the hands and the feet, the takedown and stuff like that. It's the intelligence, it's the IQ. You understand? And he
Right,
should have seen
exactly.
matter when you fight that you fight him once, and he brings this Alex when you fight him the second time, third time. He evolves over time, and if you can't evolve to match his pace, you know
And the thing about it too, he's doing things that has never been done, especially in these lighter weight categories. Um, I think it's under 155. There's nobody over age 35 who has retained or like had a title, and he's
Right.
37, and he keeps going strong. His coach was even saying that he think he can get another like 4 fights out of him. So
Yeah.
closer to 40.
I could see it. I could see it.
He looks good, with the exception of Ilya moving back down.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody really.
If
But
he stays,
but there's a small matter of Leron Murphy
yeah,
and Mosaf Evelev. They had a fight, basically a contender fight to
yeah.
be able to get the opportunity
And
to
I
fight.
think they should have a elimination fight, and the best man
Yeah,
wins, and that person fights Alexander,
I
and
think most
we
likely that's how it might go. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And some people were even arguing that running it back with Lopez after he got the win against John Silva, they should
Was
have
too
probably
soon.
gone with one of these others
Yeah. Um.
instead.
Well, I
Fresh
don't know, because
parentheses.
if I think between all of those, Diego to me is the most advanced, and
Mm,
Alex made Diego look like he wasn't ready. So I don't think the other guys would have done any better than Diego. So that's why I think they should have an elimination between themselves and then move
right.
on to Volk. But I think Volk. I think I said this last time as well. Volk ends the year as champion, barring him retiring, and I think that remains true. That's going to remain true.
All right. Anything to add before we move on to the co-main event?
Nothing really. It was a good fight. I think that
Vintage performance. Vintage Alex performance. Yeah.
yeah, and Diego also showed that he is maybe not ready for a championship, but he's definitely top 5, top 10 guy. He could definitely beat the competition
Yeah,
behind him.
top five. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
yeah,
surprised. I was surprised with his remember he teaches jiu-jitsu at the Brazilian gym that he's in. He's Brazilian and he trains in Mexico, lives in Mexico. He
right.
teaches jiu-jitsu. I was surprised that he didn't try to use more of that to kind of, I mean, he had a armbar attempt in the fifth round, I
Yeah,
think it
and
was. Alex tried a guillotine in the second. Um, Probably should have mixed it up a little more.
that
And
was the
I mean,
only time I really was like, "Ooh, he might get it here. This might be it here." But other than that,
I remember Alex
it
is
was
a
it
man
was
doesn't
good.
tap out. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so moving on to the co-main, we had Bernard Sandenis. He had a big win over Dandy Hangman Hooker by
Yep.
TKO 4:45 in the second round. In my opinion, bro, this God of War BSD, it was a really good back and forth, and he basically makes the losses BSD, that is the losses to Poirier and Moicano, seem like a little blimp in the
Yeah.
past there. He's with 4 wins here now. And he'll be with a late stoppage, in my opinion, because he was just raining down punches and elbows on Dan Hooker. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on this?
I heard somebody else say the same in terms of the stoppage. I feel like that was a Dan Hooker fight. That was how Dan Hooker gets down. He isn't
Yeah.
some. I think that if he stopped it any earlier, he probably would have complained. He seems to be the type that is into that kind of let me go
Yeah,
at the
he took a lot
machine
of damage, boy.
kind of mentality.
Yeah,
I am, however, disappointed in general in Dan Hooker's round 2 and round 3, simply because for me, I really like to watch the 3 fights and the pressers leading up to it. So when fighters
right.
start hyping it and saying, yeah, 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 if I'm gonna go to the hospital, I'm taking him with me. If he's gonna be top 5, I mightn't get it, but I'm making sure he can get it too. Like that kind of mentality, I'm like, yes, no matter what, we're gonna get all out war. And it seems like BSD kind of figured out the Dan Hooker trick pretty
Yeah.
early after round 1, and Dan didn't really have a combatant response, especially being the veteran in the ring in between the two fighters in the ring at the time. I
Mm.
really wanted to see more out of Dan, but it wasn't bad. Let me not make it sound like it was a terrible fight. It was not a terrible fight at all, but I picked BSZ to win, but I really was expecting a lot more out of Benoit Saint Denis. On Benoit's and BSZ's side, um, yes, he won, but he didn't look technical enough to deserve, in my opinion, to fight somebody like Max Holloway, like for the
Well,
BMF.
I was not going to say I mean, he got the finish.
He
So
did, but
he,
when you're fighting guys like Dan Hooker, and yes, he beat him, but it almost felt like Dan Hooker kind of threw out the game plan after a while. With Max Holloway, you're not going to have that. There's times you're going to be the hammer and the nail in the same match, in the same round, probably in the same minute.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be able to be really, or else you're just going to look like a mad bull in a china shop, just swinging and left, right, left, right. Max
Well, we'll
Holloway's
see.
going to make it silly.
Because we'll see. Because I think well, after the fight he called for a BMF
Yeah, he did.
or the title shot, and I think there are a lot of options for him because especially he's on a 4-fight winning streak.
Yeah.
So we have Max, we have Charles Oliveira, we have
Yeah.
Gaethje, we have Paddy, we have even Amin Sarkian. So I think there's a lot of options, and the questions will be answered one way
Yeah.
or the other.
Yeah. Like I say, it was good. It was a good war. This is what you expect from BSD every time. Walk forward, you know, carnage every single time. I'm just now looking for him to evolve into that really technical fighter that catches you off guard, makes you make mistakes that he actually fully capitalizes on, etc. That's all I'm saying in terms of being able to go to the level of fighting somebody like Max Holloway with a chance of winning for the BMF title. If
Yeah.
he does right now, I don't see it. Maybe next time we see maybe a lot more technical, but that's all. That's all I'm
As I
saying.
said, the questions will be answered. Remember, he's former French special
Yeah,
forces. He's
yeah,
the god
yeah,
of war. He comes out for violence, and well,
yeah,
he got it done. He put it on board and couldn't get the win on more or less home soil there. So
yeah.
by the way, we had our picks, and so far I got those two picks correct. Picking Volkanovski and picking Bruno Sandenis in the second, well, in the co-main. And well, moving on to the third fight in the main card, where we're moving down, we had Mauricio Rufy versus
Alison
uh,
Rafael.
Rafael Fazis.
Yeah,
And Rufy won via TKO punches in 4:30 of round two.
round two. Yep.
So Rufy got over his recent loss. He lost to
Yeah,
BSD, by the way. And I would say he basically saved his career with this win.
yeah,
For he's Tiger Muay, great kickboxing. He started off strong and aggressive, but I find he became hesitant, and
yeah,
Rafi took advantage, and
yeah,
basically the biggest win of his career, propelling him forward.
yeah, yeah. If I was able to pick, I would have picked Rufi to win this fight. Simply because
I got this one wrong. Yeah.
I didn't think that the BSD fight was really like, yeah, Rufi is done. I thought that, I think they both, or at least BSD was able to drag Rufi into a slugger and got caught, or however it went. But really impressed with Rufi. He looked really good. I was really
Yeah,
expecting him
stock
to win the
definitely
fight.
rose. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he kind of took over once he started going. I feel like he found his rhythm earlier. He got going a lot earlier. And round two, what was it? Round two, 4 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fiziev looked a little bit lost in the ring, in my opinion. He didn't look like, because Fiziev honestly reminds me of BSD, or BSD reminds me of Fiziev in terms of they're going to walk forward, they're going to swing for the big shots. If they hit you, they have that power to put you down. I personally found that Fiziev looked a little bit lost in the cage this time around. He probably couldn't figure out what Rufi was doing in a way to stop him. But
yeah. Rufi got it with the overhand right and
I
rock.
don't know what you do with Fiziev now, because
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because he's fought some weird fights in terms of when he fought Justin Gaethje. I think he might have fought Poirier as well. Didn't he fight Poirier?
Yeah.
I think he fought Poirier as well. And at those points in times, I felt like it was too soon, but it happened anyway. And so now he's back fighting these up and coming contenders, which is where he should have been in the first place, and he's also losing to these guys. So where
I
do
think
you
he's
put
probably
him?
still top 10. Yeah.
I don't know
Still
where you
around.
put him, but I don't think he's done. I don't think, like, he done
For
maybe a
sure.
bit
Yeah.
of. I think a bit of a change of training camp, just like Mufi did, and I think that was a
Yeah.
really good idea.
Rufi training in
Switching
Australia
to,
with
yeah, and I
Alex
think
and
because
those guys.
you need that type of energy around you, need that type of mindset around you. He said he got into the camp with Volkanovski and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He's trained over in Australia, and he said
yeah.
they're just doing it different. It's championship mindset over there, and I think for somebody like Rufi, who has that potential to be a champion in the lightweight division, that's definitely something he should be.
Yeah, so Rufi, as you said, getting it done, a lot of options for him in the future as well.
Yeah,
And let's see what goes on for
yeah,
Z's coming up.
yeah.
Um, and
13,
moving
he's
on.
13-2, so like I could
Yeah,
see a title push pretty soon. I could see it pretty soon. Not yet, but pretty soon.
yeah, he's probably 2 fights away. Yeah, if
Yeah,
anything.
exactly. And
Yeah,
I agree with that. 2 fights away, two more really good performances. He's on his way.
yeah. So moving on down the card again, we had Talson Teixeira versus Tai Tuivasa. Now I would have picked Tai for this one, but Talson got it done via unanimous decision. Tai is now 0-6. I think any other fighter would have basically been cut, but he's a fan favorite. Teixeira did the Shui celebration by the way after,
Yeah,
and just going through quick. Teixeira, he had a big double head takedown in the first round, and ground and pound, vicious punches, elbows. Tai kind of got up later on, hit some knees, and Tai came out a little better in the third round, but
third
it
round. Yeah.
was it was basically a dominating performance by Teixeira.
Um, just going back to your first point, I think this might be the end of the road for Ty in terms of his UFC career.
Think so? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't pick a fighter for this fight because I don't think I've seen much or enough of Talison Teixeira.
Yeah.
I know Ty, and he used to be one of my favorite fighters
Well,
to
yeah, I
watch.
lost to Derek
Especially.
so that's why
No,
that's
I
his
heard
most.
that, but I just
Yeah.
can't remember if I've ever seen him fight. Like if I've ever watched
Right.
a card and seen, because
Yeah.
sometimes you're seeing them, but you maybe not like the fight in the early prelims or something like
He's
that. You
he's
kind of
pretty
not
new. He's pretty new. Yeah, in the
right,
UFC.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I really wasn't sure, but I knew that I couldn't really fully depend on Ty to win this fight. I don't know what's going on. Every time you see him,
Well, Tai took a whole year off to try and catch back
yeah,
himself and
yeah, and
so
every time I see him, he looks like this is it. He's gonna be ready. He looks a
yeah.
little fitter. He looks a little, he's losing the weight. He looks a little more game. I don't know because you know what it is, right? Ty time
Compromise.
the UFC in terms of the MMA may just be the wrong rule set for somebody like Ty because Ty is just a brawler. He's no like
Yeah.
what is his skill set? He's not a jiu-jitsu guy, he's not a grappler, wrestler, he's not a boxer. He's a brawler. He's like a street fighter, you understand? Like
Yeah.
dirty boxing, bare knuckle boxing, something like that might suit him out
Well,
better.
I think he may very well end up in something like
He
that.
could
Yeah.
even start his own in Australia and do something like because I
Yeah.
agree with you. He is a fan favorite. He has a big following over there. But
Yeah.
this is the UFC. This is like the pinnacle. This is the creme de la creme, as they say. So I was pretty disappointed with his performance. The third
Yeah.
round, boost of energy and stuff like that. It was like, yeah, okay, typical Ty, back up in the fence, he's going to lose. But, pretty disappointed. Congrats to
Yeah.
Talison Teixeira, hopefully we get to see more of him, but also wasn't too impressed with his performance because I felt like Ty was there to take. He was there for the taking. And as somebody who's trying to impress at this point in time in his career, you were supposed to capitalize. You were supposed to at least try to finish him. And he gassed. So, there wasn't much he could have done, but kind of expect more at this kind of level. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. So and well, moving on the last fight on the first fight on the main card because we're moving down. We had Quillan Salakid versus Jamie Maloke. And we had a neck crank win by Salakid. This is in 3:02 in round one.
Yeah.
So some decent early exchanges and Salakid got a takedown. He got a leg triangle around his body, around Jamie's body, and he was going for a naked choke and he ended up getting the neck crank and getting the finish. How you saw this one? Like, well,
really good fight. It was my first time seeing Quillan fight personally. So I was like, okay, yeah, I could see why this kid has a lot of hype behind him, because he has a lot of hype behind him. As Before the fights, in the lead up to the fights, to the week or whatever it was, I heard, I was watching like varied podcast or stuff like that, and somebody said that Jamie Malaki is one of the fighters, when they're trying to build a fighter, is one of the fighters they feed a fighter to.
Okay,
And it
okay.
kind of coming true, because he's 18-9 now.
Yeah,
In total, I don't know what is his specific last five fight streak, but I was hoping that he could have stopped the hype train, but he didn't. He might be on close to either on the chopping block, or next on the chopping block,
probably.
in terms of his career. But um, and it's kind of what I mean in terms of Tyson Chisora was tied to Russell. When you're in that position, it is your duty to impress, because people kind of like try to shit on like Sean O'Malley and Paddy Pimblett and be like, oh, how did you all get these kind of because when it was their time to impress, they impressed. And so I think Colin Southgate did a really good job in that, and I hope to
Well,
see
he
him
moved
again
to
soon.
11-1, so basically
And he's 11-1. So,
big stuff.
if he probably fights one more time, two more time, and does like a round one finish, because he showed good hands, but I believe this is the guy that has really good grappling and jiu-jitsu as well. So
Yeah.
if he could, really push one more, two more really good first round stoppages, really good, fight displays, I can see him getting that, and hopping over, skipping over the line over some people. So, more power to him. Good luck.
Yeah. So overall great card.
Yeah.
325. I guess, as I mentioned, Paramount could not have asked for anything better to start off. Having UFC,
Yeah.
and yeah, can't wait for 326.
Yeah. So the next card is a fight night. The next two card. The next one is Bautista versus Oliveira, and the one after that
Oh, nice
is
fight.
Sean Strickland versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Those are the two or three.
So
Whoa.
that's a really good fight nights. Yeah.
There's three fight nights before the next UFC
Yeah.
main card. We should be back with doing a little light review for the next fight night. But this was a really good card, like you said. We also had a really good night of fights locally. I just want to quickly touch on the Rough and Tough event. Shout out to Jason Frazier. Shout out to Warren Gill. Shout out to all the fighters. Guys like Joshua James getting a win. Jamal Walker getting a win. That was real good. That was an excellent. And that guy, he fought and beat.
Yeah.
The last time they fought, he beat him by submission as well. He had him in a ninja choke and choked him unconscious. So it was a really good victory for him. I believe he may have broken his arm. It might be. I'm hoping it isn't, because we never want to see any of the fighters get hurt.
Didn't want to
But
top.
it
Yeah.
was a really good fight while it lasted for Jamal, and I believe it was Trevlin Clark. I believe was the other guy's name. I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, um, but in terms of sorry, what I'm trying to say, that was qualifications for international MMA championships. So all
Yeah.
the best of those fighters, all the best
Panama
everybody
Championship
qualified.
coming up.
Yeah, so representation 868 going out, Trinidad and Tobago, red, white, and black. Always proud of
The
them.
islands, the rest of the Caribbean represented. We had
Yes,
Guyana,
yes, yes. We had Barbados, Grenada,
Barbados, Guyana.
Guyana. We had Venezuela. Those Venezuelans, yo brother, those Venezuelans could fight, bro. Oh, they are. Yeah. So shout out to them. Shout out to that organization. Always,
You're a fan touch, yeah.
yeah. Big up rough up every single time. We definitely want to get some of these fighters, but we definitely should try to get Mr. Frazier. I don't think it would be a problem getting Mr. Frazier on here to do a little interview and tell the world and tell the people a little bit more about what he has going on.
Hype it up. It's
Yeah.
I always say it's a great product, and we need to get it out there.
Yeah. And that's one of the purposes of this platform, really, to kind of expose that really to expose that type of elements to the open and the vast public. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, thanks again. Another event covered here on GSP Talk Sports, and
episode
don't forget, guys.
We're
Like,
gonna
share,
roll now.
subscribe, leave us some comments.